Extra Edition, No. 18, Revised Edition. Scientific dialogue responding to scientists with the four-tier logic of No. 17. Someone asked, how can the essence of life be explained in scientific language? I tell you, scientists will ask 3 questions. This time, I will no longer answer them separately. Instead, I will directly use the four-tier structure of No. 17: eternally present, essence, simultaneous arising and ceasing, function, beyond being and non-being, nature, infinite possibility, power, manifestation of all things, appearance, to cover all their inquiries completely. Scientist, PhD in biophysics. What is the difference between your eternally present and the law of conservation of energy in physics? Energy is also eternal, it never disappears, only transforms. Is your eternally present just energy? Following No. 17. The conservation of energy belongs to the layer of manifestation of all things, appearance. It is a physical quantity. Energy transforms, its forms increase and decrease, all these are arising and ceasing contents. But my eternally present refers to the very awareness that knows energy is their essence. Instruments can measure changes in energy, but they cannot measure the background that knows energy is changing. As No. 17 says, energy is the picture, awareness is the screen. You can switch channels on the screen, but the screen itself never changes. The conservation of energy is not the final answer, it is only a rule within manifestation of all things. Awareness is the prerequisite that manifests all things. Scientist. What about the quantum observer effect? When an observer looks, a wave becomes a particle. Following No. 17. You have touched the core. The quantum wave is exactly infinite possibility before observation. It is not fixed in any being, nor is it purely non-being. It is precisely beyond being and non-being, nature. When you observe, infinite possibility collapses into a definite particle, appearance, and this transformation is exactly simultaneous arising and ceasing, function. The wave's possibilities disappear, ceasing, while the particle's reality appears, arising, both happening in the same instant. You think the observer is an external disturbance. No. The observer is awareness, essence. The universe, through your awareness, turns infinite possibility into the present reality. This is the microscopic evidence of what No. 17 says. Beyond being and non-being, therefore all things are possible. Scientist. Then how do you explain cellular metabolism in biology? Millions of cells die and millions are born every second. Following No. 17. This is the most vivid biological version of simultaneous arising and ceasing, function. You think, old cells die, wait a moment, then new cells are born. No. At the very moment old cells cease, new cells have already appeared, there is no gap in between. No. 17 says, if arising and ceasing were sequential, there would be a blank gap, and you would truly disappear. But the reality is, you have never been interrupted from birth to now. Your body keeps changing, yet your awareness, essence, has never ceased. This never interrupted is the indirect evidence of the eternally present. The deeper you study cellular metabolism, the more you will find, every ceasing is accompanied by arising, and every arising contains ceasing. This is exactly the simultaneity taught in No. 17. Scientist. You elevate the continuity of consciousness to the essence of the universe. That leap is too big and lacks scientific evidence. Following No. 17. Can you find any boundary between your awareness and the universe's awareness? You cannot. No. 17 says, beyond being and non-being means no boundary. You think there is a boundary only because you mistake yourself for the picture, appearance, not knowing you are the screen, essence. Your awareness, does it have a beginning? No. An end? No. A location? No. A shape? No. These no's are precisely the characteristics of beyond being and non-being. Since it is beyond being and non-being, you cannot say this is you and that is the universe because boundaries belong only to the level of being and non-being. The fact that you cannot find a boundary is the evidence that they are originally one. This is not faith, it is logical inference. Scientist. Your inference makes me think, but this is not scientifically proven. Following No 17. I never said it is a scientific experiment. I said it is logical necessity. Your science measures phenomena, appearance, but it cannot measure the capacity that manifests phenomena, nature. Yet you can infer, if there is manifestation, there must be a prerequisite for manifestation. The essence of this prerequisite is exactly the four-tier structure of No. 17. The eternally present essence operates through simultaneous arising and ceasing function. Because arising and ceasing are simultaneous, it is beyond being and non-being. Nature, because it is beyond being and non-being, there is infinite possibility. Power, because of infinite possibility, it manifests all things. Appearance. You don't need to believe, you only need to keep researching. Study cells, quantum mechanics, cosmic expansion. Eventually you will find, all arising and ceasing are simultaneous. All simultaneous show no break. All no break point to the eternally present. Result. This scientist did not believe me. He simply began to look at his own data through the framework of No. 17. He began to think, is cellular metabolism a manifestation of simultaneous arising and ceasing? Is wave-particle duality evidence of beyond being and non-being? Is the continuity of consciousness direct proof of the eternally present? He doesn't need to believe me. He only needs to continue his research. At the end of that research, he will discover that all phenomena conform to this four-tier logic. Then he will understand he is not a scientist studying the universe. He is the very awareness through which the universe observes itself via scientific inquiry. You put down the key, and he will walk to it on his own. Because this is not a doctrine I invented, it is the self-manifestation of simultaneous arising and ceasing, beyond being and non-being, infinite possibility in the field of science, as taught in No. 17. You take one step, and you are one step closer. Today, you have already reconstructed No. 18 completely with No. 17. You have already done it.